Hey everybody, what's up? How are you on this fine evening? On today's episode, I am going to be reviewing the XMondo color blue 2A blue black, which is a gloss, not color. I'll tell you about it and what a gloss is in just a moment, but it is a super gloss intensive glossing treatment. Pretty cool. I mean, the packaging looks nice, right? The X. So weird. Can you see me in my tiny little phone? But yeah, let's dive right into it. So, what is a gloss compared to a dye? Now, a dye, like when it comes to like box dyes and stuff, you know, um, is more of like to like full and change the color and stuff like that. Glosses and uh, are meant to kind of like keep the mids and the ends refreshed, so like instead of having to put full on a permanent dye on the mids and ends of your hair, a gloss, because it's nowhere near as bad as like a health condition wise for your hair. It's like, kind of glosses over, kind of refreshes it for like, good few good few washes and stuff like that, right? And the idea of it is to be not as damaging and keeping your hair kind of healthy and stuff. And that's sort of what a hair gloss, for color gloss is basically. And it's almost like color depositing shampoo and conditioner, except for the fact that, this basically is a lot of it is conditioner. Let's see what the directions are, what the ingredients are. A whole bunch of oils. um, but yeah, and it's XMondo by Brad Mondo, stuff like that, and it's uh a big jar of it, so that's a plus, right? And looks like that. I get the blue black because blue black as a Goth um shows darker, uh gets darker pigments out, and it helps keep red pigments out and stuff of my hair compared to like regular soft black and stuff like that. um but yeah, blue black, good tip for you goths out there. Want to keep a good black. Blue black is blacker than regular black, but the only downside is if you're a natural blonde like I am, um, getting root touch ups is very much more common, very more of a thing compared to regular soft black dye, and that's my cat if you hear that. um, Compared to regular black dye. Because I think there's like the blue and it kind of just like it just fades out a little bit more and stuff. So, kind of less washing and stuff like that, less styling and stuff like that. That is, you know. But I mean, if you take care of your hair right and stuff, it should be fine. And yeah, while I am balding and stuff, but I'm taking care of the hair that I do have. So, you know. So let's get into what I think about this product and how I think this product worked for me compared to other depositing or compared to regular hair glosses and color depositing conditioners and shampoos. So one of the main reasons I got this was because we're one, how big it is. And with all the reviews I keep hearing about it, I kept saying it was very a good smell. And I don't know how I can describe the smell. It might have gotten a bad bottle or something, but I got it from Amazon and from what I seen, it wasn't necessarily like, a rip off, buying it from Amazon because I did see that, the XMondo had the whole store on there with his logo and everything on there. So I don't think this was like a fake or anything like that. I mean, it could be, but we never know these days. But I don't know. I was kind of I heard a lot of reviews about these glosses being like super a good smell, but I honestly think the Arctic Fox semi-permanent dye smells better than this, It doesn't it smells fine, but it kind of I don't know, this kind of almost smells like Play-Doh, and I've definitely smelled better dyes and color color things than this. So I was kind of a little bit disappointed about that by the color. For coverage wise, which I'll show you a clip eventually of me with my makeup. I do apologize. Um, Coverage wise, because I didn't really have a brush with me. I have it somewhere. I just didn't know where. I just couldn't find it, and so I couldn't really like focus on like getting all professional about parting my hair and stuff like that. So I just grab some scoops out of it with some regular dishwashing gloves that I have, and because I don't have any gloves at the moment either, because and just really focused on the ends because I don't really get the roots because I get my roots done professionally. Um, it's just easier for my roots to get done professionally and stuff, but I just do the ends, kind of. I just refresh the ends just like every once, like once about every 2 months or stuff. So it's just decent. And this was my first time trying this, and I don't know. I think it's okay. We'll start with the positives, right? The positives is it came out pretty black, right? Came out really decent. Even when I just slapped it on, it did the job, right? Like you can see it in here. You can see it in some of the pictures and stuff I have and everything. And it did the job, and there's a lot of it, so I can use it for a good few times, which I like about that. Um, Now, and I'll say in that department, it's pretty good. I think it got a darker coverage though than like what Arctic Fox would get, or a regular uh, color depositing conditioner or shampoo would do, um, or a regular gloss. The last gloss that I tried, it did better than the last gloss that I have tried definitely. So that's a plus, and so that's a positive, I think. And I think that's a good positive. So I'll be able to use the whole jar, not in just one go. I can use it in a few goes. And, with just a couple little scoops in my hand, I was able to get, I don't have like the thickest of hair or anything, but, I don't have to, get a whole bunch of coverage out. So I definitely think it's great for that. So, yes. Okay, now it's time for some of the negatives. At first, when I was doing it, I didn't think it was really much of a mess, but that's with all dye, honestly. And it's not its fault. It's probably my fault, honestly. Like, it's with all dye. You're gonna deal with a mess anywhere. But this one I found was very interesting because, like, it was like almost like a detective when it came to like making the mess, right? Because like when I was applying it, I was like being as clean as I possibly can with a towel everywhere and stuff like that. And for some reason, I still got it everywhere and just like little splotches, like little dots everywhere, all over the kitchen somehow. And I think it's probably more of, again, my fault. So definitely be aware, it does get kind of messy, especially if you do it the way I did. I'm pretty sure if you did it like more of the professional way, it wouldn't be as messy. But doing it at home, uh, definitely a little bit messy. um, it's a little bit stainful, but what like, I found, because it kind of stained a little bit on my neck and stuff, what I found to really help battle that out when I was washing it out was a face wash, skincare and stuff. The specific one would be this, hang on, this steel mucin thing. This kind of really helped get a lot of like the staining off of my skin and stuff. Still got like blue on my thing, and it definitely did the job because when I got done, I like the thing kind of just like boop, booped, and it got like a good spot right here, blue, if you can see. But I mean, it's all good. That is like a little downside, which it's okay because like it'll wash off eventually off the walls and stuff. Like for the most part, I don't see it anymore, so that's a good sign. Um, the other sign again is like with the smell, and I think it might just be the smell of like my bottle or my cup or jar in general, but it's just I was not surprised. I was not glad about the smell. It wasn't as good smelling as I thought it was going to be. I mean, like it smells decent, but I don't know. And when I got out of the shower, my hair kind of smelt like I don't know, just Play-Doh. It just smells like Play-Doh, honestly. um, so there's that. The other negative downside I have about this is when I did get it out, um, for some reason, um, it kind of got my hair really tangled up. And my hair never really gets tangled. Like when it does, I just, brush it from the bottom up, kind of help get it out and stuff because I'm really good at untangling knots in my hair and stuff. But for some reason, every time I was brushing it out when it got dry and stuff, use the dryer on it and everything, it just was not stop tingling. I was like getting these really weird knots. It was really weird. I didn't like it. And, you know, my hair doesn't really do that. And I don't know if it might have been just because, like, I don't know what it was, but uh, it was really odd. And my hair kind of felt really dry. And, like, the point of this gloss is supposed to be very conditioning to the hair, from what I can see. Yeah, it's supposed to like help also take care of the hair too. And like my hair kind of felt a lot more dry afterwards, you know, like a lot drier than usual. So, I don't know if that aspect of it is like just for my hair or if other people had issues with that, but I definitely think it's, kind of dried my hair out a little bit. But I mean, that's to be expected with color treatments in general, like whether it's a gloss or a color to positing conditioner and etc. It's gonna dry your hair out eventually. Gonna dry your hair out. So can't really win. But I guess like the way that these things were advertised is like it's supposed to make your hair feel better than when before you put it on, and it kind of just made my hair really dry. So I don't know. It's kind of weird, but um, I do like the result. I mean, it looks nice and looks looks decent. And for the lack of a bad job that I did with it, got a good coverage of getting all those browns out. And I even went out in the sun and everything too. So that's like the good test when for people that dye their hair black all the time and stuff, and get really upset when the light shines on it and it shines red and brown in your hair. you know and it didn't do that with this, so that's what I strive for. Do I think it's the best color depositing conditioner or super gloss treatment thing? um I don't know. I think it's better than, for gloss wise, I think it's definitely one of the better ones. um train I would give this probably I I'll give so far I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I'll probably rank it again next time I use it. Um, See if anything's changed. see if it was just whatever I usually put in my hair that kind of made it react the way it did, or if it's just the thing in general. Because, that's the thing with hair is like you really, like, if you put something in your hair, like an oil or something, and it does something to your hair, like you really got to consider like the other stuff you've been putting in your hair and stuff like that. So, all that. So, anyways, thank you for watching my review, and I might review some other things. And I purchased this with my own money, by the way. It was like $20. It's a little bit expensive, but it's gonna last a long time, so there's that. So you guys have a good night, and yeah.